Hi, I'm James Knight. I'm a therapist and certified Hanna Somatic educator. We're here to take 5 on Hanna Somatic education, otherwise known as somatics. Somatics is a field of study and exploration of the mind-body unification. And today I'm going to lead you through a series of exercises to help you have an experience from within. So the first exercise I wanted to lead you through is for a neck release, which is the upper trapezius and the muscles that go up into the neck. Since if you're doing this at home or at your office, obviously there'll be a ceiling. So with this exercise, the first thing you do is hold your knees to the chest and bring your feet closer into your buttocks. And then holding on to your knees, tilt your head back and pick a spot on the ceiling with your eyes. One of the ways that we learn in Hanna Somatic education is through contrast. So then bring your hands behind you, resting behind you, and this is to support your weight. All of the Hanna Somatic exercises are done slowly, and the muscles that you aren't using, please just relax those muscles. So for the first movement is actually just with your right foot, slowly slide your right foot out until your toes want to come off the ground. And at that point, please lift your toes, arch the foot, and then bring the ball of the foot back down on the floor, slide the foot back, and then lift the toes, keeping the ball of the foot down. And you repeat this 3 or 4 times. This can also be done in your chair at your office. It's just as effective. So you just want to, again, keep your attention focused just on your foot, moving nice and slow. And pay attention to the sensations. So for example, what are the sensations in the ball of your feet? What are the sensations in your toes, your bones, your joints, your ankle? And after this next one, please bring the foot back, hold on to your knees with your hands, and tilt your head back, and notice if you've improved your range of motion just from this simple movement. And then relax, and let's do the other foot. So bring your hands behind you, starting with the left foot. Again, just slide it out until the toes want to come off the ground, and then arch the foot. Bring the ball of the foot down, slide it back, keep the ball of the foot on the floor, and raise your toes. And again, do this several times. So as you're doing these movements, another thing you want to think about is just keeping your breath nice and slow, and just relax your face, your eyes, your jaw, your shoulders. And at home, once you learn this movement, you can do this up to 5 to 10 times each side. So after this repetition, please come back, and then hold on to your knees, and again, tilt your head back, and notice if you've increased your range of motion. I like showing this movement because it's really simple and easy and very effective. This next exercise is to release the muscles in the lower back. So starting in a lying position, please bend your knees hip width apart and interlace your 10 fingers behind your head. In this position, gently bring your shoulders into the floor and tilt your head back slightly, and then come up into a very small sit-up, just raising your head off the floor a few inches, pressing your belly button down towards your spine. And then as you come down, start curling a little bit so the tip of your tailbone comes down into the floor, and you'll start feeling this nice arch. And 5 or 10 times repeat this very slowly. She's going to come up, bringing the elbows together. Now she's engaging all the muscles in the front part of her body. And then as she comes down, the elbows hit the mat and the back begins to arch. So this is also about coordination, moving nice and slow. You can close your eyes, come inside, and when she comes down, all the muscles in the front part of her body are opening and lengthening. And as she comes up, all the muscles in the front is contracting and her lower back is releasing. This is a very, very simple movement, and anybody can do it. It takes a few minutes and it's very effective. This next exercise is also to release the lower back, since most adults often have presenting complaints of that. So this is another very effective way to release the lower back. So starting in a lying position, please bend your knees hip width apart and cross your right leg over your left. Bring your left arm above your head and rest it on the floor behind you. So with this movement, again, we're going to move slow. You can close your eyes and let the knees gently fall over to the right. And when the knees fall over, just let them stop, and then reach with your left arm. Release your left arm, and then slowly bring your knees back to center. And then continue this at your own pace. So again, the knees fall off to the right, and you stretch with your arm, keeping the arm on the floor, release the arm, and gently bring the knees back up. So this is a 4-part movement. And you notice that she's doing it very slowly. This is very important. This is where the re-education happens, is the brain is having to engage and ask, how can I do this slowly? How can I do this with cooperation? How can I do this with ease? With all of these parts put together, you're reprogramming your lower back muscles, as well as your side muscles. For the sake of time, I'm going to have her stop now, but at home, please do this 3 to 5 times each side. If your time and space permits, I always like to ask my students to begin and end with Shavasana. Shavasana is a term for corpse pose in traditional yoga, Hatha yoga. So in Shavasana, you'd like your feet to be 18 inches apart at least, with your ankles flopped open to the sides. Your arms are comfortable by your sides with your palms facing up. Starting with your toes, you're scanning up part by part, piece by piece, and just check in with your breathing. Notice how you feel. There's no right or wrong. This is just really great for the brain to be able to notice how you feel before and after doing the movements. And this is also very valuable for integration at the end of each exercise or series of exercises. Thank you for joining me today for the Take 5 moment. I hope you learned something about somatics and that you'll be able to look at my website if you have any more questions. This is obviously just the tip of the iceberg, and I look forward to sharing more.